Good evening, ladies and gents. Oops, stuck up open. Move that out of the way. Hope you're doing well. It's round 4 of the Pretty Ninja GT2 World Championship. I'll be your host this evening. My name is Anders. I hope you're doing well on this fine Sunday, recuperating after the 12-hour spa race, I would think. From what I managed to catch yesterday, it looked pretty good. Looks like Team PNR did alright. In all fairness, they finished, which is more than what can be said than others. We're currently looking at someone who drove yesterday. You can see that the cars are a little bit battered and bruised as we're at the street circuit of St. Petersburg. And it should bring a good race, but it looks like we have only 6 drivers tonight, which is a bit disappointing. And it looks like we've got 5 Ferraris and 1 BMW. So it's a bit of a bullying situation going on here by the looks of it. So we're looking at Letterme right now. See how he gets on. Let's just change it to a mixture cam so it will nip on board as well. Then every so often it should nip on board at least anyway. There we go. There's Letterme just going along in the GT2. Very weird gear stick animation there, moving it forwards to be able to pull it back to change it in gear is a bit odd. I wonder if Letterme's preferring the dry streets of St. Petersburg to the wet and rainy Spa circuit. As Tominello was stopped at T1. Smith currently leading the board in free practice right now. 4 minutes left to go. You can see how close they get to the walls, trying to get the fastest lap here. Could be counter captured. That if you go too far over that red line, it's a cut, so they need to be careful about that. But a few of these people probably not driven St. Petersburg, really. Not in anger, at least, anyway. There's Ollie Smith. It's just cooling down his tyres by the looks of it. Ready for a fresh, fast lap. Oh, he drives off the circuit instead. Interesting. Trying to get as much of a run up as possible over T1. That's quite an interesting little cheat there. And locking up into T1. Problem is, I actually think you're carrying more speed if you drive the corner normally. Weirdly. It's one of those where I don't really see it adding much of a benefit. Didn't realise it was a Ferrari show this weekend. No, nor did I, to be honest. I am surprised. I am surprised. 1 BMW nipping into P2 there of 66. And now we're going beep boop. Again. Doing something a little bit naughty. We'll have to keep an eye on Ollie Smith in quali, and if he does that, we'll have to penalise him in the race, I think, because that is cheating. Very naughty. yeah, we'll have to keep an eye during qualifying. And that looked like close to a track cut right there as well. But Smith trying to use as much of the circuit as possible to get that lap time in. Now I'm hoping for a close race tonight, but the fact there's only 6 cars on the grid, and the majority of them are Ferrari, and what it looks like on free practice, it's not looking overly likely. And he manages to almost get a 109 flat as well, so I have to keep an eye on that. I think 66 is probably just twigging onto that. What's happening? So Smith there's a bit of extra tarmac. Ooh, as he bins it into the wall. There's a bit of extra tarmac before the start-finish straight, and if you can carry a lot more speed out of the last corner basically, which means that you're carrying a lot more speed into T1, meaning that you have a faster lap time. So obviously if you did it in your actual quali lap or your actual lap, you won't really get much out of it, but as in at the end of your quali lap, sorry. But if you do it at the beginning, you will notice. But we'll keep an eye out for it. We'll just give him a 5-second penalty if he does it in quali. So just make sure I've got the web page up. Just double check. Yes, I do. Lovely stuff. Results. Just keep an eye on the live timings as and when they come in. So our events, very good question. I can't actually remember where everything is this upcoming week, so I will have a quick look for you. So PNTCC is heading over to the Nürburgring tomorrow night. GP circuit with fast chicane. Connor's been doing a lot of practice on that one. The Porsche Multiclass heads over to Road Atlanta. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Road Atlanta is the place to be next week. It's going to be very tricky for GT4s. And you're currently watching the GT2s, but next week they will be at Mugello. And hopefully, I've said this every week so far, because it's been 3 to 4 weeks since I've applied for those vehicles to be added to WSS. And still nothing has happened. So all the cars are leaving the pits, and we'll keep an eye on Smith. I don't think I can actually penalise. Can I create a penalty? I can. Smith penalty. Warning. So I can only give a warning. Can't remember. It's about excess. See what he does here. He is. There we go. So warning has just gone to Smith, which you would have seen. And sportsman-like behaviour. Do not use excess pre-start, finish straight, or 5-second pen will be added in the race. So we'll see what happens. It should pop up on our screens at some point very, very soon. I'd like to think. But we'll just see if he does it again. So for each time that he does it, we'll add 5 seconds. And you heard it here on stream. So we'll see what he does as he's going to come over the line. It doesn't really look like he's backed out, so he's probably going to come over the line with a 109. 109.562. So that'll be a 5-second penalty being applied. Or can I remove lap times? I don't think I can. No, I can only do warnings. I can only do warnings. So, okay, that's not cropped up then. It's annoying when the admin system doesn't talk to the track. Real penalty is on, right? Yeah, real penalty is on. Okay, cutting. DRS flag. The penalty system wasn't there. So we'll see if he does it again. So yeah, so the penalty wasn't on for some reason on my screen. He's probably seen it, but he has used it at the end of the day, so he will be getting a 5-second penalty. You've been practicing, Noah? How have you found it at Road Atlanta? How have you found it? I can imagine the GT4 is a little bit tricky. 66, however, without using the XS. Although I will just cheekily ask him. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. I must ask Mr. 66 a very serious question.
What's that?
To set that lap time, did you use the XS road at the end of the start-finish straight?
The excess road?
Yes. Before you come around the last corner, there's that green patch. Just before you come around the last corner. No. If you can say no. If you didn't do it, it's fine.
No, I don't think. Well, there is like a little curve there.
Yeah. Just like I'm talking around the outside of the last corner. There's a green, like a big green patch before the tyre wall. I'm only asking you because I'm trying to be fair, because I'm going to be giving Smith a 5-second penalty in the race because he used that to get his lap time, and he was using it all throughout practice as well. So I'm only just trying to be fair. That's the only reason why I'm asking.
Not that I know of. I don't know which. I'm not sure you know.
You sound confused, so I'm going to assume that you didn't. So don't worry about it.
I'm going to go around now and have a look.
Yeah, last corner you'll see on the round the outside there's a little green bit of patch. So I'm going to deafen myself and I'll catch you boys after the race.
Is that out really wide, is it?
It's, yeah. So if you literally go around the last corner, just don't go around the corner, you'll see the excess green patch. And you'll drive around it. But yeah, Smith used that to get a bit of extra run up to the line before setting their lap. And I sent him a warning just as he crossed over the line to start his lap, and he didn't back out, so that'll be a 5-second penalty being given to Smith in the race. But never mind. Right, have fun. Good luck. Cool. He sounded confused as hell, so I'm going to assume that 66 did not. I think 66 is now going to see the excess green patch around the outside, just coming up here. Yeah, there it is. So 66 didn't use that, and he still managed to get the fastest lap of qualifying, and Letterme is also currently on it. So I'm not quite sure what Letterme is kind of doing there, but yeah. So Letterme's now gone into the pits. 66 is now stopped to go into the pits. Smith is gone round the first corner there. Road Atlanta is pretty tricky. It is very tricky, isn't it, Noah? Really? It is a very difficult circuit. It is a very difficult circuit. Right. Let's not focus on the negative. Of course, is in P4 currently, not having the best of times around St. Petersburg. Tominello currently P5 with 1:12.6, and Bartek in the bright yellow Ferrara with a 1:12.5. So the back of the grid, we might have a good race on. Front of the grid, we might have a good race on. Who knows? We could have two sets of cars here, but at the moment, it's catch the BMW of 66. And Smith comes round the outside. Sadly, I can't terminate that lap time for Smith, which is a bit annoying. I feel like that should be a thing that I can do. It's going to be chaotic with the GT3s. Yes, it is. It is going to be chaotic. So actually, where is admin password? Or is there there's chat that I can use, isn't there? Chat. Yeah, I can see that he's got a faster time, but he used the green strip beforehand, and I did give a warning. But if this was a legitimate time, then fair play, Smith is cooking. He is very quick. The problem is that you're setting yourself up for a downfall, really. Sadly. This isn't esports. So you're actually carrying more speed out of the last corner by not doing it anyway. So we will keep an eye on that. The 66 and letting me in now, just chilling, watching. Can Bartek get any improvements as they just come over the timing line now? Bartek does. Tominello also gets an improvement and moves up to P5. And Korsk down to P6, and Smith will be on the front row of the grid until race starts. But I will just put something in chat to give him the option. If he starts in pit lane, I won't give him a time penalty. Trying to remember. Please stay in pit lane for exceeding track limits on first flying quali lap. For accessing, oh my god, track limits on first flying quali lap. There we go. Race control. Wasn't just me. Didn't see anybody else. Did not see anybody else. Just don't ready up. Good luck, have fun. F. So here we go. Here are our. To be fair, it's still kept him on the grid here by the looks of it. Can't help with that. Never mind. Never mind. He's on front row. He's pulling over to one side. Just let the pack go through. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do, Smith. Go for it. So 66 goes through the inside bit. It's Lemmy that's got the start. Moves into P1. 66 is second. Bartek, Terminello and Korsch are all currently scrapping at the back. It won't be long for Smith to get through. At the end of the day, that's all that needs to happen. And 66 is already on the attack against Lemmy and has already got the job done. Please excuse the mouse for tonight's stream. Noah says good luck all in chat. But as you can see, everyone's all grouped back up anyway. So let it go. 66 Lemmy. Tomello Smith is already making their way through. Should be able to make light work of this back three, really, with the pace that he naturally has. He just doesn't need to use the excess track. But if there were other people that did it, all he has to do is show me, and that's it. They will receive a time penalty. It's that simple. But 66, half a second ahead of Lemmy, but Lemmy is, well, the Ferrari's a lot better in the straights around this circuit. The BMW should be a lot better in the corners, and Smith is making his way easily through the pack. But doesn't need any form of penalty because at the end of the day he self-consciously moved himself to the back of the grid. Very sportsman. And now just needs to get past Tominello, who's already got a bit of a ding on the left-hand side of his car. Already made a bit of contact with a wall already. Runs a bit wide. Oh, that looks a little bit close from Smith there. He didn't seem too happy. I think he's actually got a bit of damage on the inside or the left-hand side of his car. Well, it doesn't look like it. And Smith getting the job done, moves into P3. 4 seconds currently behind Letterme. Fastest lap goes 66 at the moment, but Smith has got clean air ahead of him. Just outbrakes himself slightly into T1 by the looks of it. And yeah, you can see a couple of the cars just nudging the wall a little bit in the background. And yeah, you can actually see there Smith has definitely had a little bit of contact with a wall. Sorry, I'm just going to see if I can get rid of those cutting ones. There we go. And to be fair, he's already making quite light work off the front too. He's already got the gap down to 2.9. So he's clearly got some pace around St. Petersburg. And we've got Letterme in second, about a second behind 66, and the field has already started to have a bit of a split. Smith just sets the fastest lap of the race by quite some margin, I believe. Oh no, it's not updated. There we go. Yep, Smith is now just, well, not just now. It's just very slow to update on the live timings. And Bartek has clearly had a bit of a run-in with a couple of walls, bless them. If you've not quite got the right setup here for the Ferrari, it's not a good time, especially around the street circuit. And it looks to me that Smith has got a little bit more speed going down the main straight and in sector 1. It's already closed the gap down almost by another second. And Smith is on a mission with a bit between their teeth. 40 minutes to go. In all fairness, I think when he gets to Decimi and 66, he will probably make quite light work of them. He was half a second quicker than 66 last lap, and a full second quicker than Letterme. So Smith is clearly the driver to watch today. As a new fastest lap of the race goes to Smith. Oh, and locks up that front right massively. Oh, that's going to cost a lot of tyre wear. He's really pushing. Oh, with 200% tyre wear over 45 minutes. There is a lot for Smith to do. But sadly, that is not one of them. He doesn't want to be doing that. Worried about track cuts as well. But I think Smith will catch up. 66 at some point soon. Letterme setting a really good lap there as well. 4 tenths quicker than 66 ahead of them. And the gaps behind have sadly opened up quite a bit. Wonder what that'll be. Just a bit of wall rubbing as Bartek's is some 113.1 there. So I think Bartek will easily catch up to the drive of Korsch ahead. Korsch, sorry. And that Ferrari just seems to be a little bit happier around the streets of St. Pete's right now. And there is Smith in the background again, having all that work to do after the lock-up into T1. It does look like that Ferrari, it's kind of a bit of a narrow line there for Letterme. He lost a lot of time there, which would be good for Smith. It looks like Bartek may have hit the wall as 66 just set his personal best for the race. So it does seem to be that the drivers are trying to get into their routines. Korsch is just set a 1:12 as well, which is rather rapid. I think Letterme's soon going to be on defence against Smith as he's closing down in the temps now. They're pretty close to each other realistically. And 66 I think is starting to push. Korsch is now getting into the groove of things as well. So the rear three are not doing badly at all by any stretch. It's just a shame they're not kind of closer together. Smith has now got the gap down lap by lap. Seems to be a second lap by lap. So going into T1 next time around could be quite an interesting predicament here for Letterme. The purple and purple P&R Ferrari is going to have some work to do. To be fair, Letterme may have found a little bit of pace that lap. It's not an awful lot to commentate on really at the moment in time. Korsch is really starting to rack up the pace and catching up Terminello for P4. Bartek sadly must have hit the wall because he's 15 seconds behind right now and probably quite heavily damaged. Korsch has just set his personal best of the race. Oh, and Korsch just dropped the gear a little bit there. Not quite what you want to do, but still, we'll see how they got on. Smith has now got the gap down to 8 tenths here. Korsch is still trying his best to keep in the run-in with Terminello. Sorry if my commentary's not quite on point tonight. I'm kind of struggling to fill the gaps tonight. Because these drivers are so consistent, so racy, so pacey. Letterme was 1/10 quicker that time around, so the battle for P2. Oh, and Letterme goes a little bit deep into T1. And Smith is right on the rear end of Letterme now. Oh, and Smith hits the wall. Letterme goes to defend, but not going to be able to get it done. And Smith moves into P2. Next is to catch up 66, who's got a 4-second buffer to Smith at the moment in time. Just whether Letterme can keep up with Smith for the duration of the race and maybe be able to get something on them, as they're all on medium tyres. Letterme lost 2 seconds that last lap, which is far from ideal. a bit of damage on Smith's car as well, really. So we'll see if tyre wear could definitely be a factor towards the end of the race. And we've got Terminello and Bartek in the pits right now. Probably getting repairs done after some big old shunts. So that's Korsch up to P4. Just needs to get the job done. But it's good. It's good. Everyone's going to get a really good haul of points with the lack of drivers. Bartek is also not doing too badly either. Smith has got the gap down to 3 seconds. It looks like Lemmy has also had a bit of a moment there as well. So the car might be a little bit damaged. And Smith lapping close to a whole second quicker than 66 right now. 66 is the only car on the circuit right now that hasn't got a scratch on it. So we all know the limitations of the BMW. It's not the overall quickest exhilarating. A little bit of rear end kicking out there for 66. To be fair, Smith still holds the fastest lap time by 0.2 of a second. 15 laps gone. And we're just about halfway through the race, give or take. In fact, no, we're nowhere near halfway through just yet. Still another 4 more minutes to go. So this is a fast lapper of a circuit. Don't know how well it eats tyres either. Everyone is still relatively spaced out. And you can see Terminello's just set his personal best of the race. And we can see Smith in the background. So we go on board with 66. The fact that he's shifting downwards to shift up in the animation's a bit odd to me. And shifting downwards to shift down. That is one clever gear stick right there. Have I only just noticed that? He's shifting upwards. Shifting away for up and down. Look, there you go. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think 66 right here is actually driving a really smart race. Looking after those tyres, you can see that he's not really trying to put them under a lot of pressure. He was keeping the pace relatively high. Clearly enjoying the streets of St. Pete's. It is just sadly quite a short lap. But it's looking rather good for 66 right now. Smith is certainly trying to catch, only 1/10 quicker that time around. Letterme is only 30 seconds ahead of P4 Kosh. So we'll see what the purple and purple Ferrari can do. I mean, Letterme keeps on finishing third P3 in these GT2 races. And it's the only one that you can truly get involved in because sadly he works night shifts through the week. Terminello is back in the pits again. It's been a minute, literally. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on. It's just repairs. So clearly the streets of St. Pete's are not treating Terminello very well. Bartek is also a lap down now. You can see the Ferrari, if you haven't tweaked the setup, is really struggling in the corners around here, which, to be fair, in the practice sessions before we started the championship, that was one thing we did figure out. So you really do need to add a bit more front aero to this Ferrari. It seems to like to understeer away a little bit. One of its characteristics. But well done to Terminello and Bartek for carrying on after being a lap down. Smith is still trying to catch 66 after being, well, a lap down, not a lap down, a whole second slower that previous lap. Well, not quite a whole second. I lie, more like 6/10. Now we are halfway through the race, 20 laps gone, 20 more to go. Realistically, or maybe 19 to go. So 40 laps to St. Pete's, really. That's a hell of a sesh. And Bartek has sadly binned it, but is the car still drivable? Looks it to me. Just got to keep it going. Porsche is making her way round again. Struggling to keep on top of things. And Smith has got the gap down to under 3 seconds currently, and as I say that, it just peaks over 3. But there's definitely ground made that last lap. In fact, quite a bit of ground. A whole 7/10 was made that last lap. 66 did a 1:11.4. Smith did 1:10.7. So Smith has been very consistent here, doing the mids to high 110s. 66 is fluctuating a little bit. He might just let off a little bit more than Smith did with Bartek in the wall. But it does look like around sector 2, Smith has definitely got an edge on 66 right there. So whether that BMW's tyres is starting to fade off a little bit. I mean, it has been 21 laps of consecutive driving. Just picking up the pace just a little bit, but still Smith is definitely not going anywhere. Slowly eking away. Bit of wall touch in there, but it doesn't seem to have slowed him down too much. Smith goes. I'm sorry that I'm not really flicking through the drivers. The reality is there's quite a gap between everybody. Everybody's driving relatively well. And it's just whether 66 and Smith get closer together towards the end of the race. 66 is driving incredibly well. Current championship leader. Will be extending this championship lead quite some bit as we are in the halfway mark of the season now. 66 is certainly doing quite well here as a back marker gets right out of the way. Is there a static at all? It's an IndyCar one. That's race lot 1, race lot 2, race lot 3. Which one's IndyCar again? That's an IndyCar one apparently, so let's go with the IndyCar cam. Looks like Smith is dropping back a little bit. I've got a funny feeling Smith, yeah, that Ferrari's definitely had a lot more contact with the wall than 66. But he's managed to close the gap down again, so I think this genuinely could be anybody's, really. Been a good drive from 66, that's Connor. It has been a good drive from 66. You are very correct, sir. Realistically, from Smith and 66, their drive has been absolutely fantastic today. I think the only thing letting this series down is just the inconsistency of drivers and numbers. Not necessarily drivers on track, just drivers and numbers. I mean, after P1 and 2, you're looking at 16, 1 minute, then we're a lap down, then we're 23 seconds behind. So, you know, it's just not quite, the field's not quite thick enough for a good, in my opinion, a good GT2 series. And the cars may not help, you know, like, this may not be a particularly pick one sort of car people would sort of pick, sort of category, sorry, that people would pick. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, but I think realistically it's a good series, especially if they actually added the GT2 cars that I requested 4 weeks ago. That would also be very helpful. Letterme has been good as well. Letterme has been very good as well. But just made a couple of mistakes, but otherwise he's been very, very good. Pardon me. Okay, commentating. No, it's alright, Connor. It's nothing that you need to apologise for. At the end of the day, people have lives. That's the thing. It is a Sunday night. People did drive for 12 hours yesterday. You know, it's all very understandable. This is probably a circuit that barely anyone's driven, which is their loss in my opinion. And yeah, just maybe a car class that the people are just not particularly keen on. But given the numbers, it can provide very good racing. So we're into the last 8 minutes of this race. Can Smith do anything to catch up with 66? Gap's now down to 4 seconds, so I think Smith might be struggling with the aero of his car a little bit, although he's only a 10th off 66. I think 66 has managed this race so well yet again. Certainly less stressful than the PNTCC, which is back tomorrow evening around Nürburgring GP with fast chicane. I had to throw our frying pan out today. This is how, like, there is nothing for me to really commentate on at all, because this race, these drivers are so good and so consistent that they're just on the same level throughout. There's 4 minutes left of the race to go. Unless 66 or Smith can find a shed load of time, I'm not sure what can happen in the last 4 minutes, really, unless, like I say, 66 touches the wall, which I don't wish that upon him just for the sake of entertainment. But all of these drivers, including Tominello, Bartek, of course, Lemmy, have driven really well tonight. Why'd you throw your firing pan out? Because there's a T-foul one, or like a meant to be a non-stick one, and all of the plastic residue that's on it is starting to come off. So it's just not, yeah, it's all just like 6 years old and it's just disintegrating, and don't really want to cook things on it. Possibly Sebi will consume in the near future and have bloody carbonous black crap all over it. But we only need the one pan, so I'll just pick one up on Amazon Prime deals. Why not? So 3 minutes left to go, 3 laps left to go. Probably do around about the 38 lap mark, and to be fair, Bartek is sadly about to get lapped for the 3rd time, and he let 66 through, not holding him up too much. But whilst we are looking at this, let's see what the purple Nurple's doing. So the purple Nurple not doing too bad at all, really. It's currently got a big old gap to Korsch, who is literally just behind. There's now a whole lap down. Trying to see who. Oh, it must be Terminello. Yeah, it's Terminello. Smith has made their way through. And the lap times there, they were both affected. 66 more so. Currently 3 tenths down that last lap. Purple Nurple has come around the final corner, so I don't think Lammy's going to get lapped. It's only 30 seconds behind Smith at the end of the day. But realistically, there's this one, and possibly one more after that, or there will be one more, at least one more after that. 66 got a 3.4 second lead. Smith had a due to, well, Smith sadly was using the off track, and he was the only person that I caught, so I called him out on it. But he very graciously, after being P1 on the grid, moved to the back of the grid to start the race. But now the gap is down to 3 seconds. Now, is this only a 1:10 lap time? I think there could be one more lap after this. I think 66 does need to get a little bit of a wriggle on. He's losing quite a few tenths here. He's almost lost a second. So Smith is clearly holding the cards pretty close to their chest. 66 definitely needs to get a little bit of a motor on here. Otherwise, one more lap is definitely on the cards. I think it is definitely on the cards. So we'll be doing 38 laps. Otherwise, Smith is going to be far too close. Or are they? This is going to be really quite tight, actually. Is there going to be one more lap? 3, 2, 1. Yes, this is the final lap of the race. So one more just as he crosses the timing line. So, and I think Smith may have thought that the race was over, but it wasn't. It looked like he did let off a little bit down the start-finish straight, but the gap is back to 2.6 seconds and dropping. And it does look like 66 is going to get the job done here. 4 more corners remaining. Left-hander here, then a right-hander, then a little left-hander, then a right-hander, and back onto the start-finish straight. And 66 is driving it very smoothly. Masterful race. It would have been interesting to see what Smith and 66 could have done at the beginning of the race. But 66 comes over the line to take round 4 of the GT2. It was far from easy as Smith crosses over the line, only 3 seconds behind. 66 come to the end of the race, so great drive from Smith, really. The purple Nurple Ferrari is going to be coming over the line, take P3. That's Letterme. That's going to be a very good haul of points for Smith there in the championship. It's going to properly propel him up the grid, up the leaderboard rather. As Letterme comes over the timing line. I think that's Terminello behind, and then Korsch locking up that front right to take P4 at the end of this race. Let's see where chat is again. I can't remember where chat is. Where's chat gone? Chat is gone. I don't know where I've done with it. Chat. Korsch is happy to do donuts, even though the 66 is there in the BMW. Smith is driving around. Could probably just teleport back to pits now. But there you have it. So what have we got coming up this week, Porsche? Multi-class is heading over to Atlanta Raceway. Should be quite the entertaining one. Make sure you get signed up for that one using the link in the description below. Next week we're off to Mugello for the GT2 World Championship. Again, I will say it, I hope we will have some more and different vehicles come that event next week. And the PNTCC are heading to Germany. Nürburgring GP fast chicane layout. It's going to be absolute carnage, I think. Absolute mayhem. Absolute mayhem. Right, we are just waiting for the results to be finalised. And then we will take a look at how the standings look. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Sorry it's not been the most energetic of streams. Smith has got 11 incident points. That's been a lot of wall touching going on. Waiting for the results to be finalised. Hopefully we'll be able to add some more cars in before next week. It looks like the race results have come through. So let's take a look at its final standings for this evening, rather. There we go. Indeed, I am correct. Smith tried asking you a question in race chat, I think. Oh, did he? I know he did before the race, and he did the honourable thing, so I didn't give him a penalty or anything like that. So that's not a problem. Let's take a look at the standings. So, in P1 is still 66 with 93 points. 3 wins to their name after 4 events. The championship is theirs to lose. Letterme is in P2 with 60 points after finishing P3 pretty much every single race bar 1. Or 2 by the looks of it, because apparently he's only got 2 podiums. I'm under the impression Letterme did at least 3. New cars for next week are in, by the way. Awesome. I will have to get those added. Butler is in P3. Korsch moves into P4 after today's race. Skyring falls down to P5. Smith moves all the way up to P6 with 32 points. Coulson drops to 7th. Lloyd to 8th. Sobek moves up to P9. Terminello is in P10. And Bartek is in P12. Again, sorry it's not been too energetic tonight. It's a lot easier when there's more drivers. So with that being said, if you're watching and you want to get involved for next week, all you have to do is hit the link in the description below. And if you're feeling extra cheeky, join our Discord. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you want to watch more Pretty Ninja content. Until next time, which will be tomorrow evening in the PNTC at the Nürburgring. See you later. Well, my ending screen works really well, doesn't it? I have to log in every single time. Flipping heck. Oh, dear me. Correct. I had 2 P4s and 2 P3s. Oh, there we go. There we go. But right, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. And I'll see you there.